BOX5-TV and Marching Arts Education present Marching Arts Now!
Hello, and welcome to episode 9 of Marching Arts Now. I'm Tim Hinton, the beast of the marching arts, and what a big week this is. We're heading into Bands of America Grand Nationals, and we've just had 3 days of Texas UIL Championships. What a great week. On this episode, we talk with a band parent about how to promote your program in your community. We meet an older gentleman who's been adopted as the band grandpa by an entire band in Indiana. And we review 4 shows from last week that everyone was talking about. Up first, we talk with a band dad who has advice on promoting your program in your community. Hey, this is Tim Hinton. I'm talking with Christopher Brown. Christopher, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today, Tim?
I'm doing great. So I got connected with you because you are a part of a reporter team following the Homestead Band through their journey through BOA Super Regionals up to Grand National, whatever. So let's start there and tell us about what your work is as part of this reporting team.
Well, I'm actually the senior promotions producer and drone operations manager for WPTA in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I am also one of their special photographers when we do special events and stuff like that. They send me out to get things. It happened to be nice that I travel with Homestead's band at this point in time, so I was able to get in there and get some stuff that really helped out with the story. And so yeah, it's kind of what I do on my daily life.
What would you say to somebody who's watching this as far as what they can do in their own community to help get more coverage for their band and for the arts?
Approach your stations, approach your local market stations, inform them. A lot of times they don't have the resources that are looking at all this extra stuff, and they just don't know about it. And that's been a big thing with us. They just didn't know that a lot of this event stuff was going on. They had no idea that Grand Nationals is as big as Grand Nationals is until I brought that out to them. I was like, look, there's 119, 116 bands from around the country, big bands, great bands. I mean, we got 8 or 9 coming up from Texas again this year, Broken Arrow, stuff like that. These are great bands and it's great music. If the stations don't understand that or know that, because they're not most of the time a part of that, the sports people get that information out. You know when a football game is. There are all these, hey, this game's coming up. This is stuff like that. Sports people get it. The arts programs need to do a little bit better job getting that information to the TV stations or your newspapers or your radio stations. They can help bring in more people to the arts programs because a lot of these people understand that, hey, I was in school, I was in these programs. That brings back that nostalgia. And we get a lot of that. Homestead is really good at when we go down to state, when we leave after the state competitions, our alumni fill the whole backside where all the bands walk through, and we cheer for every band as loud as possible when they come through. We do their chants, we do whatever. We cheer for our band a little bit louder when they come through, but we also hold up this sign that says there is no finish line, because there isn't. You're still moving forward throughout your life. You're taking that stuff that you've learned on that field and you're going throughout the rest of your life. There isn't a finish line. You're going to keep moving and you're going to keep going forward. And our band has portrayed that throughout the years. Our alumni come out in full force. I can't wait to see them this weekend at state, and I can't wait to see them next weekend at Grand Nationals. And it's just, it gives you chills. And unless people know about that stuff, it's one of those things where it just kind of gets swept. Okay, well, I didn't quite hear about that, so we're too late. And get it to them early. It takes time to get a reporter to get everything together, to understand what that is, to do the story correctly, and then get it on the air. It just takes time. So you can't go the day before, that day of, hey, we're going down to BOA or state or whatever. It's going to be swept under a lot of times just because there's so much other stuff going on at that point in time, because you still got to cover your regular news. But get the information to your TV stations, your radio stations, your newspapers early. They can help you promote your self and promote your band program and your music programs.
See more of this conversation on the Marching Roundtable YouTube channel.
Joining us.
Hey everybody, this is Tim, and I'm here with Jennifer Porath from Concordia Lutheran High School in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Jennifer, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm great. So tell us who all's there with you.
Yeah, so to my right is Grandpa Gerenhart. He's kind of our adopted grandpa of the entire band. Seventh grader Bethany Kramer and sophomore and drum major David Milliman. So
Wonderful. So I love this story. So tell us about how Grandpa ended up being so important to the band and how this is all working.
sure. So his grandson, oldest grandson, one of his grandsons,
Oldest.
graduated. Steve.
In 2015, he started it.
Okay,
I've been doing this since 2015.
yeah. So he's been our grandpa since 2015, and just has kind of adopted all of us. I got here in 2019, so I've only been a part of it for a little bit. And it was a little bit of surprise or something to get used to. But it was a lot of fun, and to just build that strong relationship with him. He constantly encourages us. He sits here at the second half of our practice with his trunk open, full of snacks every day, and just loves to spoil us like we are his own blood grandkids.
These are my kids. These are my kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to
yeah.
hear more about them. May I call you Grandpa, sir, or what would you like me to call you?
What did you say?
Is it okay if he calls you Grandpa?
Oh, sure. Everybody does.
Well, Jennifer, take the camera over and get it closer to him if you could so that we can hear from him. Hey there. So why are you still around the band after all this time?
Because of the love of Jesus. This is God's band. I'm a Christian. These kids love God. I love them. As I said, these are my kids. They're like my own. And they've adopted me. I've adopted them. There's Dave, and my goodness, his family, little Bethany, the whole bunch of them. And I love to give. I live to give. And if I can't give, I'm not living. And this is some small way that I can give. The love of God's in my heart for these kids. And it's reciprocated. They mean a lot to me. Yeah. That's pretty much it. I remember, and after Stephen, my grandson, graduated in 2019, then the fall of 2019, I came back there anyhow. And Mrs. Moldering had said to me, she used to be the band director. She said, but Stephen's not here. I said, no, but they are. They are. I'm hooked.
I think that's absolutely wonderful. I love that you're still there supporting that band program and that you're very important to them. So Jennifer, let's talk to these two students and thank you. So can you guys tell me, what does it mean? How does he impact your program? What does it mean that he's around?
Yeah, so Grandpa's been coming to our practices since I can remember. And I started the same year that his grandson Steve graduated. So I was shocked when I saw him the next year after Steve had left, and it meant a lot to me that he still came back. And when he told us that we were all like kids to him, it meant the world. And he's known our family, my family, for just a long time. And every night we sit down together and we just talk about God, talk about what's going on, and he prays for all of us, and he really does support every single member individually, and it brings us all up to another level.
Yeah, like David said, he really does bring us up, and at least for me personally, even after some of the hardest practices, he's there, and it really just, it's amazing to have someone who's always there and always supports you and tells you how great you're doing, because I'm small, I'm not great at it yet. And sometimes I can get myself down about it. But then I just remember Grandpa and know that I'm better at this than I think. And it's just been a great thing to have.
God bless you, Bethany. God bless Bethany and David. David.
Grandpa, how does that make you feel to hear those students say that?
Pardon?
How does that make you feel to hear the students say that?
Oh boy. That's hard to take. That warms my heart tremendously. I don't want to live without these kids. I'll be 89 November 1. If I'm 100, I'll be here. I will. I just love them. Year after year, you know. And her Bethany, she's going to be around a long time, sweetheart. Yeah. I have and Jennifer, one of my kids. This girl. This is a wonderful group of people. You picked the right band. You really did.
That's wonderful. So Jennifer, what is this? How does this impact your program and your students to have this kind of supporter that's sort of always there?
I mean, I'll echo what the kids said. It's great to always have that number one fan. I mean, we even gave him an award in 2019 at our last competitive season that of our number one fan. He got an official certificate and a signed picture from all of us. And so it really is fantastic just to have that constant uplifting spirit. Even asking him to do this interview, he was like, "Oh no, not me. I'm just your grandpa. I'm just here. I don't need to be in the spotlight. It's all about the kids." And so he is this heart of gold to always be here for us. And it's as cliche as it sounds, that he does treat us like his own grandkids. He spoils us, loves to spoil us. And his heart is with these kids.
That's what grandpas do.
Yes, absolutely. So it's great to have a third set of third grandpa.
Yeah, I'm the third wheel grandpa.
Well, I have to tell you, sir, that I appreciate you talking with me, because we always love to highlight folks like yourself who are going above and beyond, volunteering, helping the students, because it inspires other people to do that too. So that's really why we're sharing this story, because someone will see that you're there doing all this for the band and they'll go, I could do some of that too. And that's why we like to tell these stories.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I hate that the kids in the band had to miss the running part, guys. I'm really sorry I pulled you out of that. I'm sure you're very upset.
Well,
but Jennifer, thank
us.
you for stopping to make this happen. I'm so excited to get to talk to all of you, and it's wonderful to meet all of you.
Well,
absolutely,
so
likewise.
Very gracious and kind gentlemen. I love your beard. If I had that, I wouldn't wear it on top.
Thank you. I've gotten very attached to it. So, but I like you got the stash going on. That looks good.
Pardon?
Little mustache. Looks
Yeah, I
good.
have a mustache.
Yeah, you're
Not much else. When I was about 21 years old, I started losing my hair. I was driving along one day with a young lady. She said, "Oh, Al, don't worry about that. All good men come out on top."
I love it. Well, thank you so much for your time. I hope you all have a great rehearsal. Grandpa, it was an honor to meet you. Thank you so much for talking with me.
Well, we're honored to meet you, sir. God bless
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you so much, Tim.
It's been wonderful. Thank you. Have a great rehearsal.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
One more time.
Hey everyone, this is Tim, and I'm here with Jackie Brown from guardcloset.com. Jackie, how are you?
I'm doing great, Tim. It's good to see you.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. So we're going to talk about 4 shows that everybody was buzzing about from last week's competition. But first, Jackie, please introduce yourself.
Hey, so if you don't know me, my name's Jackie Brown. I'm the education director at guardcloset.com. Guard Closet is an excellent place if you are looking to sell your old equipment, your old color guard equipment. We also have percussion closet that's launching soon, and you could sell the percussion equipment. And if you are on a budget, you can purchase used equipment from us as well. And it's a great price, and it's really easy on your budget. So that's fantastic. I'm also the director of Spintronics Color Guard. We produce educational resources for free on YouTube and all over social media for anyone to use at any time. So if you ever want to see that, it's awesome. We also have a winter guard, and we're going to WGI for the first time this year. So that's going to be an exciting event too.
Congratulations. That's fantastic. Yeah, the Spintronics video stuff is fantastic. Everybody check that out. And of course, Guard Closet, I have had many bands where we're like, let's see what's there. And the flag we were looking for or something we could use was right there. So everybody check that out. Okay, let's talk about some shows. The first one that the TX band guys chose for us is Menard High School from Texas. They were the 1A UIL champion. All right, what a great show from a smaller band. Jackie, what'd you think?
I really liked the use of the boxes as these sort of backdrops to bring the stage smaller for the smaller band, and they have such a nice little space to fill in, and they were able to utilize that a lot better with the number of students that they have. I love that they had 5 color guard people and 5 boxes. I kind of would have liked to see a little more, like, are they going to go up and stand on those boxes? Are they going to create some levels? That kind of intrigue is awesome because that keeps them watching the show. That keeps your audience engaged as you go through and we're watching the show.
Right, and of course, we only got to see 30-second clip, but I can tell you, Jackie, that they do all of those things you wanted them to do. They do everything with the levels that go up and down. The horn players are on the boxes, the guards on the boxes, they stack the boxes. It's just a clinic on how to use a small space with a small group really, really well. Really great playing band, classical and popular music in this show. So I absolutely loved it. Congratulations to them. The next band is Mineola High School. Such a smart production about their hometown of Mineola. There were so many images and songs that were reminiscent of small towns and hometowns. Really, really great show. And I got to tell you, Jackie, I love a picnic scene with a watermelon flag. Like, that was so great.
Yeah, what else do you bring on a picnic besides watermelon? It's a very sweet treat for a nice summer day. I love that gazebo. The fact that they were able to utilize it in a visual way, they were able to get up into it and get off of it, and being from a small town myself, we have a gazebo. That's the small town, the centerpiece of the small town. And that's going to be like one of the first things that tells you, okay, that's what this show is going to be about. And as black and white as you can make it for the judges to know exactly what your show is about, as soon as they look at the field, the better. It's fantastic.
Yeah, they did a wonderful job of explaining exactly what they were trying to say. It was all very clear. It was all really interesting, different images and different musical snippets all throughout. Kept me engaged the whole time. So congratulations to Mineola, who was the 3A state champion. So congrats to them.
I could definitely see why they were the champions in their class.
Yeah, I mean, just a stellar performance in every way. Next, we're going to watch Leander High School. Okay, so Leander, what a great show. They were the 5A bronze medalists in a packed field of great bands. What did you think about it?
That show had so much going on. That was excellent. I mean, you see this little quartet of horn players, and then there's like people laying on the ground. There's those sousaphone players in the back have got like have got calves of steel because they were just up there doing those calf raises. I was just like, holy cow, how long are they going to do that for? And then you have a color guard person run in and just chuck her flag out of nowhere after running halfway across the field. I mean, these kids are definitely athletes. You can absolutely tell that. And they did a great job putting on this show.
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting. Music from the Grateful Dead and all kinds of other things on this trip that they took us on. I loved it. According to the TX Bands guys, the VW bus is nicknamed Daisy. So we know that. And how they had actually, I mean, this is over the top, everybody. You have this bus driving around the field. It's so interesting. And also, apparently, there's a giant teddy bear nicknamed Barry Garcia. So there you go. But anyway, super fun show. I enjoyed it every time I got to see it this season. So congrats to Leander. The last band we're going to watch now is Cedar Park, who was the 5A state champion. So Cedar Park, the 5A state champion there in Texas, such an incredible show. This band can really play. I chose this clip because I thought that drumline moment was so spectacular. And of course, this band can just play and march like crazy. This is their 6th state championship, 4th in a row. And the show included music from all 23 years of their history as a band program. So it was such an interesting program to watch. What did you think?
Of course, I'm visual and I'm looking at the color guard. I'm thinking this is a very color guard centric clip for me, but just seeing, the color contrast that they're using and how they're able to fill the field and fill the area with this color, between the flags and between the partial skirts. I think they utilized those really well, and they were able to really bring about the music in a visual way through their choreography and through their drill movement as they came rushing into the field and just filled the whole field with color.
Yeah, it was just a spectacular show. So I got to tell you, there was great show after great show after great show last week in all of those UIL competitions, and of course at the San Antonio Super Regional. It's just so much great music making and marching going on. So congrats to all the bands. Congrats to these 4. Jackie, thanks for talking with me today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's been great to be able to watch some bands this fall.
Bring it in.
It's going to be a fantastic week at Grand Nationals. Don't miss next week's episode where we review Grand Nationals plus everything that happened this week at Texas UIL competitions. We'll also be looking back at some of the best stories from this entire season. This is Tim Hinton, the Beast of the Marching Arts. See you next time.
BOX5-TV and Marching Arts Education present Marching Arts Now!